There were a number of high-profile and high-scoring games in various leagues of football this weekend. Just to name a few, Watford managed to beat Stoke 4-0 in Slaven Bilic's first game in charge of Watford. And of course, Jose Mourinho's Roma beat his former team Inter Milan in the Serie A. However, the one I really feel that I need to say some things about at this particular point in time is Manchester City's 6-3 win against local rivals Manchester United. The Manchester Derby has produced many memorable games and memorable scenes, just to name a few. Of course, Mario Balotelli's Why Always Me celebration in City's famous 6-1 victory against Manchester United in the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and of course also Wayne Rooney's famous bicycle kick, just to name a few. However, the 6-3 result that we saw today, where Manchester City take the 3 points home at the Etihad, will go down as an all-time classic of a Manchester derby. So it's only right that we first look at Manchester City and we praise a vast number of their players. Chiefly Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, just wow. 3 hat-tricks in 3 home games for Manchester City, breaking records here, there and everywhere. He's only been a Man City player a matter of months, and of course he has the highest ever selection of a player in Fantasy Premier League. I think the statistic I read today was 81.4% of Fantasy Football League players on the Premier League app have selected Erling Haaland for their team, and with good reason too, as he is setting the Premier League on fire at the moment. Of course, also Phil Foden with a hat-trick as well, a homegrown talent to complete the 6 goals scored by Manchester City today. Before the match began, I predicted a 4-1 Manchester City win with, of course, a Haaland hat-trick. And I thought Manchester United would get a player sent off after they got disgruntled and downhearted. Perhaps a Lisandro Martinez or a Bruno Fernandes, of course, known for their tempers flaring. But it was Diogo Dalot who received the first booking of the game within 1 minute. And it did cause, amongst some pundits, a lot of questions about what the referee was doing. However, I thought the decision was absolutely and completely justified. Diogo Dalot put in a not good at all tackle on Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is a player that we know is extremely tricky and very, very hard to stop when he's in good form, which he was today. And Diogo Dalot's tackle was completely and utterly unjustified, and I'm not sure why on earth he decided that it was a good idea to make that challenge. However, the main thing that I think we need to focus on about this game, there are a lot of people calling for the head of Erik ten Hag. He's only been Manchester United manager a matter of months. And I thought, when the season started, that it wouldn't be so long until we heard a pundit or two utter the words Eric 10 months. However, what Manchester United fans need to remember is that when perhaps the 2 greatest managers of the past 5 years took charge of their respective clubs, both Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp had some pretty shocking results against big teams and small teams alike. Of course, Manchester United famously lost 4-0 to Brentford earlier this season, and of course this 6-3 defeat to Manchester City will hit the heart a little bit harder. But I don't think it's right that Manchester United fans should be calling for the head of Erik ten Hag just yet. What we have been hearing from Manchester United fans ever since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, it's the club's in transition. The club has been in transition for 10 years. And what Manchester United really need to do is suitably back their manager. The signing of Casemiro is what I think is quite a poignant point here. They signed Casemiro for what's about, I'm not sure on the exact figure, it was a lot of money, tens of millions of course. And Casemiro on paper is an absolutely fantastic defensive midfielder. However, signing Casemiro clearly hasn't been part of Erik ten Hag's plan. And it makes one wonder, is the problems at Manchester United a lot deeper than that of the players and of the coaching staff. Because to sign a player like Casemiro and then for the manager to leave him to sit on the bench every game does seriously make you wonder, is Casemiro the man that Erik ten Hag really wanted? So just a little bit of food for thought there. Manchester United fans, I urge them to remain patient with their manager, as it took a lot of time for Pep Guardiola to build that team with Manchester City, and it will, of course, the style that he's used, the players that he's used, are household names now, and the Man City that we've seen over the past 5 years will go down in history as one of the all-time greats in the Premier League. Likewise with Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. But you just have to recall that it didn't all go swimmingly at the start. And Manchester United fans, I urge you to be patient with your manager. If these results are still happening in a year or two, then yes, absolutely get rid of him. But for now, don't be too rushed. Don't think that a couple of bad results mean that he is a bad manager. Only time will tell, and the jury is still out. Let me know your thoughts on the Manchester derby. I will, of course, be covering plenty of other games that we've had over this weekend, but I thought that this was just one that we really needed to focus on, given it was so high profile. I've just outlined a couple of thoughts there, so if you have any other thoughts, please leave them in comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the video. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will speak to you again soon.